Hey everybody, welcome to Go Live with Glow. Tonight we have a special guest. His name is Malik Sickstein. He'll be joining us momentarily. Um, yeah, I don't think I have any updates. Nothing's really going on. Um, just want to thank everybody for tuning in every single Thursday. Joining the conversation, engaging. I'm going to always keep the comment section interactive, and I'm going to always allow the audience to engage and to also ask questions. So if any point in the interview you want to ask any type of questions, just go ahead and just ask. He's actually in the room right now. I'm going to go ahead and add him in. What's going on? Hey!
That was quick. What's up?
I was like, 6 minutes. Come on, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. All right, 2 more minutes. Be ready. Make sure you on time. Don't be
I
late
was
because I'm
giving
always here.
I was giving you time to do your intro spiel.
Oh, okay, because I'm here every Thursday at 7:59. If you come here at 8, you late. You late. At 8
I would
o'clock, you late, honestly, because I'm here at 7:58.
I would hate to
To be
work for
on
you. I
time
would
is to be late.
I would hate to work for you.
Only on my show. Everywhere else, I kind of drag it everywhere. When it's something beneficial for me, I actually get there on time. I want to be there on time. So I gave you a little soft intro, but you could go ahead and reintroduce yourself to the audience right now.
Okay. I feel like my lighting is hella dark. How's my lighting?
It's a little dark, but it's a
It's
little
a
dark.
little dark. It's this
It's just
office.
it's not too dark, but it's just a
Hold
little
on, I'm
dark.
gonna fix it. This is not my regular office. I tucked away because I'm at work.
Okay, go ahead, brighten it up a little bit, just a little bit.
Oh, that ain't it. Setting the mood over here.
I'm seeing everybody join in here. Not dark as hell. It's not that dark. It's not that dark. We can see
Thank you for being
everything.
honest. It is dark as hell. I'm gonna go back to my regular office and just hope that people don't
I can see.
eavesdrop.
I can see you. I can see you fine. You
Oh,
think it's
that
still dark?
I think it's still dark. I think if it's in my regular office, I'll be all right. So let me do that. We're gonna travel a little.
Okay, come on. We're gonna travel. This is gonna be a traveling show tonight. Every Thursday, we always have a little bit of a surprise. It's gonna be different this Thursday. Go ahead and find your light.
I'm sorry if all the other guests have their like ring lights set up. For one, I'm in California, so it's a 3 hour difference. So I'm still at the day job.
Yes, it's 5 o'clock. So we have to get into all of that. So don't give too many things away before we get into who you are. Get the lighting together first. Get your life together first.
I came here to get yelled at, y'all. It's Harlem all day.
Yeah,
All
see,
right,
you got people
y'all
in
gonna
the
travel with
audience
me.
talking about you, and
It's all good. As long as the people are talking, as long as the people are talking.
yo, yeah, I think everybody came to cut up today. I might even,
come, come,
you know
come
why?
take a walk
And
with
let me
me.
just tell you this: please don't talk to the people in the comment section because when I play this back, nobody can see what they said. But us. Only we can see them because when I save it and I replay it back, no one can see these comment sections go up and down like this. These
So
people are
many
out of
rules.
control.
It's a lot of rules.
I'm only saying that because sometimes we get caught up on the live and we start looking down and we get caught in the interactive audience. So you kind of want to stay away from questioning. That is just as dark as the last one, but you know what? You go ahead now. It's all right. When you
It's too
come in
late.
close, you know what it is? When you come in close, we can see you fine. But when you step away, there's like a delay in the lighting. If you
Okay.
needed me to come out there for production, I could have came out there and helped you with production.
Oh, I definitely did. I wish we would have talked about that.
I would have came and helped you out with production because now the whole first part of the interview is you want me back for.
I feel like we should start it over.
We never want to start it
All right, I'm here. We ain't lose no viewers, so that's good.
over. Okay, see, okay, it's fine. It's fine. just come closer to your camera if you can.
It's,
See, we can
it's,
see you here. So now introduce yourself. My first traveling guest. They said you travel all around to get into a darker room. Don't start cutting up, okay? Leave the man alone. We got something positive to talk about today. Don't start cutting up, okay? I've been doing
all right.
really well this past year with this show without any BS. So don't start cutting up in here. Introduce yourself. I cannot
All
believe
right.
it.
Clearly, as you can tell, I'm a one of a kind. Malik 16. You can spell that phonetically or with the number. Um, and multi-hyphenate. I guess that's the best way to do the introduction. But today I'm here with my author hat on. Clearly, I see me in my day job, so you're gonna see me with my clinical hat on too. But here talking about some of the projects that I've written and some of the projects I have out and coming up.
So where are you originally from?
All right, so shout out to all of Harlem. You know, this is the Harlem connection. This is why I reached out because you know we go kind of way back, but not really way
Sort
back.
of. We've been like social media friends for a really long time. I met you
Fun.
when you used to work at, I want to say, the Mocha Lounge.
Why do you remember that? I just knew I was gonna come on here and hit you with like the receipts, and you're gonna be like, "What?" And good memory,
Mocha
good memory.
Lounge. I went to the Mocha Lounge. Me and my sister came to the Mocha Lounge one night for like a happy hour. And we met, and then like we followed each other on Facebook, then we followed each other on Instagram, and we just kind of been like keeping tabs of what's been going on in each other's lives, like via social media. Like I would have
Word.
never thought that people could be social media friends for years. There's people I've never even
Years.
met, and I've been a part of their whole lives. I know their kids. I got virtual nieces and nephews. I
It's
got
real.
virtual
It's
nieces
true.
and nephews and everything. Like, oh my God, it gets so big. Congratulations. Let me send something for graduation. So what prompted the move to, you're in California? What part of California are you in?
I'm in the Bay Area.
Okay, so San Francisco.
Yep. I'm in San Francisco right now at my day job. So the reason, let me see. I love Harlem, but California was always the 5 year plan. And somebody put in my head while I was at Mocha, San Diego. They kept talking it up. And I started doing research. And every time I had somebody come to the bar, I'd be like, "What do you know about San Diego?" So I was dead set. You couldn't tell me nothing. Any girlfriend I had, I'm like, we gonna move to California. I felt like Nas and Belly. I was like, yo,
You're moving
let's
to
move to
Africa.
California.
You're moving to Africa.
Right. Instead of Africa, it was California, right? It's like the Holy Land. And so at a certain point, you know, I was kind of at a low point, and I was like, okay, it's now or never. And so I started just, you know, storing the acorns for the winter. Started looking up jobs, and then San Quentin wound up calling me, which is the you know the famous prison, and it was a choice between the job in San Diego and San Quentin, and I'm like, well, you know, San Diego wasn't paying as much as San Quentin. I was like, I'm not missing up a chance to work in that prison, so came out here, seized the opportunity, and been working in the clinical world ever since.
How long you been out there now? Because I remember you moved, but I didn't know what prompted the move, and I never knew that you were in California. I don't know. I think I thought maybe you were in the Carolinas. I don't know why, because everybody moved down south. You know what I mean? People rarely move to the West Coast. So how long have you been in Cali now?
It's about 4 years now. So
And how do you like it? Is it like a change, or did like compared to like New York?
oh yeah, I'm not coming back. Yeah, y'all can have the snow.
Really?
Y'all can have the snow. We good.
Why?
What? Okay, there was a certain point where I was like, why am I paying the most, the second most expensive rent? Because nothing's more expensive than San
All right,
Francisco.
don't
Like,
start with this. Don't before you even get into the rent. I would like to explain, and I'm an avid New York. First of all, I wasn't even born in New York, but I've been here all my life. So I'm a
you're
true New
not a
Yorker.
native?
No, I was not. I've been here since I was one, so I'm a New Yorker. I learned how to
Where were
walk
you,
in New York. I learned
where
how
were
to
you
walk
born?
here.
Where were you born?
I was born in Florida. I was
Wow.
born in Florida, so listen. I love California. I always said if I can have Cali and keep New York, I would go there. Like I would love to be bi-coastal. but I cannot take Cali and just leave New York, only because I feel like in New York City, we pay for New York City. We don't pay for the apartment. We pay to live here in New York City. We pay for all of the opportunities that are here. That's why our apartments are so small, because rarely do we ever entertain in our homes. You know, whereas in California, you have these big homes where people, and I went to Los Angeles like maybe 6 or 7 times. It is a different type of energy out there. You can't just, I couldn't roll into a mocha lounge out there in California and meet somebody. You have to find your tribe, find your people, and then that's how you were able to navigate and make friends in California. For me, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know about anybody else. If you come out there with an already established connection of people, then you'll be fine. But trying to figure it out on your own and navigate, it'll probably take some time. It wasn't as social as I thought it was going to be. I don't know how the Bay Area is. I always said maybe I need to go venture out, maybe look at Oakland. But I always felt like you needed to find your tribe. Like, you need to find your tribe first in Cali if you're not from there. Like, if you're coming from one other, you have to find your tribe in order to make it here. Whereas in New York, you could literally meet a bunch of people in a bar, and those will be your friends, and you just build these connections like that. Because I don't really think we pay to live in these apartments. We pay to experience these tall buildings and this train and all of that. Like, we just pay for all of that. Whereas in, California is like expensive cars, expensive homes. We just got like expensive things out here. But that was my little small take. And trust me, California is always on my mind as the next place to go, just because I just said I am done with the party scene. I'm done with a lot of different things. I could definitely go out there and see myself just chilling and furthering my career in whatever aspect I want to do it. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But the fact that you were just getting ready to get into the amount of money you paid for those apartments, I barely see this apartment. This is the most I've seen this apartment because of COVID.
All I'm saying is, if I'm gonna pay expensive cost of living, I don't want the air to hurt my face, and I don't want to have to shovel my way out of a parking spot.
I don't know. I don't mind it cold, but again, I digress. So tell me, what is the significance behind the nameplates and crates?
Okay, so, and this goes back to how we met, because I used to bartend at that place, right? And I'm sure I was trying to flirt with you unsuccessfully, and I was like, "What's your social media?" Right? And I was like,
"It was a gentleman."
Right. And then I was like, "Well, at the very least, come to my event, check it out," because I think I just when I was in Mocha, I don't think I had the event started. I was doing something. I was promoting something. And so that was a part of it. But right after I left Mocha, I started working in this place that no longer exists on the east side of 118th Street called Creole. And my boy Fred, who's an Aquarius, shout out, he used to promote all these open mics. And I kept telling him, like, yo, and he was charging. I was like, bruh, nobody wants to pay to see a bunch of no-name rappers and singers. And he used to have like big lineups, like 20 rappers. And I'm like, nobody's staying on a Thursday night to watch 20 rappers they don't know, right? I was like, if you're going to come to this place where I work, let's do this differently. Let's do familiar songs that people know, but let's also take advantage of this brunch thing, because this is when brunch is just hit New York. Super heavy.
Boozy brunches.
Right, before they started calling this Soha, right?
Right,
they tried it. They tried it. I was like, let's do brunch at night. So we combined this concept of doing brunches at night. We talked the restaurant Creole into serving brunch in the evening at happy hour. And we had a band, and we would cover live classic hip hop albums. So we started off, we did like Nas' second album from front to back with a live band. We did Outkast's second album live front to back. We did like a Foxy versus Lil' Kim. We hired 2 female rappers. They dressed up in wigs. It was dope. And we were trying to, this was back in the era where a lot of establishments were scared. Before, now we're in the era of trap yoga, trap brunches, everything's trap.
Yes, I had a trap yoga event.
Back then, they were like, rap in a restaurant? No, so we had to dress like this. We called ourselves the Fly Guys with Ties. We were like trust us. It's grown and sexy. It's with a band. It's a professional crowd. Like we really had to convince people. They were not trying to have rap in their establishments.
Right.
So we were a little ahead of our time. And yeah, we were going around doing that. We had a residency at this spot called Farafina on Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And
Another place.
we just took it to different places. But I will say, trap karaoke came out and kind of just killed us. They killed our whole, they kind of took our lane, and it is what it is. But plates and crates exist in so many different facets now. So
So
we,
what's the name? Like plates and crates. Like what's the crates part? I get the plates part with the crates.
the crates is because we're digging into the crates and
Mm.
reliving that nostalgia from these classic albums. Like we would only
And
do
the crates,
albums.
like the DJ carrying the
Right.
crates, and the DJ with the plates and the crates. Okay, the music
Right.
and the food, the music and the food.
Right, because we're only doing albums that people know. We're not. There's no more no name rappers. It's like us and our band doing your favorite album. You come on this night, you know you want to hear these songs. If we're doing a No Limit night, you want to hear No Limit, you there. If we're doing Jay-Z, you want to hear Jay-Z, you there. So
Okay, okay. I don't remember. I think I remember you doing the events, but I remember there being a lot of different like open mic night events.
yeah. My
So,
problem is I wasn't savvy. I wasn't into Instagram. I think my ex at the time was like, you should use Instagram. I was like, why? And I totally missed like 2 years of promotion. So like to this day, we don't even have like the hundreds of thousand followers that we could have had.
mm,
I was being an
you don't
old
have
man.
enough pictures from that moment in time where you could have been posting and
Mm-hmm.
old school Fresh Flintstone
Oh,
mentality.
oh,
You could have really had that up and jumping. You could have brought that to the bay. You could have brought that to
right.
the bay.
I
You could still
did.
bring it to the bay.
I did bring it to the Bay. We did two big events out here. Shout out to Shayla Bang. She's like an icon out here. She does so much for Oakland. They have like a whole day that's recognized by the city. So we did their So Oakland Week Festival maybe like 2 years ago when the world was open,
Okay.
and that was our first time doing rap and R&B. We had Usher Confessions album and Ti trap music. We did like a double up mashup, and that was a great night. So we might bring events back when the world opens up, but right now we're going into like the media branches and stuff.
Well, I mean, slowly, but well, I mean, I can't tell that the world was closed according to Atlanta and the rest of down south. Everybody's been up and about, and I was speaking to my therapist yesterday. She was like, "Well, COVID is really much over." I said, "And where you live at? Because did COVID just happen to me? Because I just feel like I'm the only one that's still kind of like back up and give me a little
Right.
bit of space. Everybody else is like, oh, it's okay. We could cough near each other. It's okay. We could talk to each other in each other's faces. So the book, get into how you started writing because I didn't know you were a writer. Do you have the book?
No, so
You
that's
know
yeah,
what? Mm-mm.
not yet.
No, wait a minute. You're not going to talk about a book that you don't even have, that you can't even show. So now I'm at to tag the book. Malik,
You
you are
gotta
not
tag the book.
prepared. You are not
So
prepared today.
so fun fact, because you were supposed to put the book
I'm not
in the
supposed to
picture.
do anything. You're supposed to at least have that book in your hand to show.
Listen,
I can show
you
the picture, but to actually physically show the book is a little bit different.
now
We're gonna
you
have to
put
do this
me.
interview over when the world opened up. We gotta do a redo. We're gonna definitely have to redo this over. Tell us
Can't believe.
about the book since we don't have the book. So give us the start over. When did you first decide that you wanted to start writing books? Because you
I
about
was
to be
about to
cussed
say you.
out.
I was about to say you really you just killed the whole intro. But all right, let me see if I can answer your question. She says, all right, so this is not my first book, but this is my first children's picture book. And so what's going on now? There's an Indiegogo campaign for the book to generate a certain amount of sales to make it national and be attached to a national publisher. So right now it's not a physical product because we're in the campaign mode. I can't make the physical product until the campaign's over. And
Okay.
that's a huge part of why I wanted to do the show, just to create more awareness. And if anyone wants to support, I know your mom and anyone out there who has children in their lives, or like I said on my YouTube channel, anyone who knows people who have children, which is most of us, It'll be a great opportunity. This is my first time doing crowdfunding. I've never been somebody that thought that was a viable option. I actually got with a campaign manager who does really great work out
So
here.
what's
He's
the name
based
of the book? Give me the name of the book so I can pin the title. It's called Grab the
okay.
Mic.
I grabbed the mic.
I Grab the Mic.
Hmm. And so, my campaign manager's name is Jesse Bird. He's huge. He's doing a collaboration with Pixar right now. He works with children all the time. He's a part of Serendipity Lit. And I got with him after I supported a book out here by one of like the big spots. It's a vegan restaurant called Vegan Mob. And the owner's wife had just did a campaign with my campaign manager, and I supported that. And after I did that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go this route and hit him up. So we did a consultation, and then from there, just decided to go this independent route to get the bigger attention because I've been published. I'm in Barnes and Nobles with the young adult book that I helped co-write, but this has always been a dream of mine since my freshman year at Howard University. I was big into
Yeah, you
publishing. I
gotta
thought I
put
was.
it up there like that. You see how you put that Howard University up
I
there?
had to. I know
I
Morgan
should have worn
State.
my Morgan State shirt
I
just for
know
that reason,
Morgan.
just because you put that out there like that.
I know Morgan, and secretly, I think I did ask you when I first met you what it's like because that was one of my regrets. All my time living in the Maryland DMV area, I never explored Baltimore the way I should have, and I always wanted to see Morgan's campus. So, yeah, I
Our
give
campus
props.
is beautiful.
I listen, y'all homecoming is kind of lit too. So,
Well, listen. I was saying because I feel like I'm homecoming queen because I've been to every single homecoming since I enrolled in college, and the only reason why I didn't go to homecoming is because of COVID, and I really felt like I should have went to homecoming with a mask and just stood on campus by myself because I definitely wanted to go because I really felt I was being robbed or something.
yes, you
How
go every year, don't you?
every single year. Like I really was gonna just go this year with a mask on, just walking around campus. Like, listen, I still showed. I mean, nobody else is here but me, but I'm still here. I think Howard University and Morgan, we just always it's just like two rivalry schools. I don't know why. I don't
Is
know
it?
why because Howard students feel like Morgan students wanted to go to Howard. A lot
That
of us
might be
did. A
true.
lot of us did apply. I honestly didn't apply. I did not apply.
Sure, sure.
I did
Okay.
not because y'all wasn't taking fee waivers, so I was not applying. I was not gonna give Howard University $75 for the application. I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna just go to the school that wants to take me. And so I definitely went there. I have thought about going to the graduate school, but I don't really think I want to ever go back to school ever again. But
I know you said don't speak to the people in the comments, but I got to take this moment to shout out all of my fellow Bison and anybody who watches this later.
they all
That
in that. They all in the comment section. I see them in there talking. It's fine.
right.
Listen, I don't hate Howard University. I actually love that school. I went to the homecomings there too. I love
I
and
know.
appreciate y'all campus is a little bit different. Y'all had like an open campus, but it looked more like industrial. But Morgan had a little bit more open campus, field and yards, and they got beautiful buildings out there now. And how
I
long was
believe
you
it.
out there? What did you go to Howard University for? What did you major in there?
You trying to age me for well?
How about, well, I didn't say how long you got. I said what year you got there. I didn't say what year you went there.
Fun fact: I went in as an English major just because I needed something to declare. As soon as I got there, I switched to film because I thought I was trying to be Hype Williams. That was my dream. I was like, I just want to make music
Oh, you want to
videos,
make videos,
and
and
then
I
I
wanted to be
left.
a video girl.
See, we all got dreams. We all
I
got
wanted to
dreams.
be a video girl.
Do you use your real name on this show?
Yeah, it's Simone.
Okay. I just want to
I
make
use my
sure
real
before I
name.
call
I use
it.
my real name all the time. It's an okay name.
Okay, because I was like, let me be careful. But
No, I use my real name all the time.
yeah, I left Howard as a psych major, so that took me that planted the seeds for my clinical journey. I ain't wind up going back to school till years later, and that's how I ended up as a clinician. So
Okay.
the places life takes you.
So, how everybody wants to know how can they support the book? So, right now you're doing crowdfunding, correct?
Right, it's Indiegogo campaign. The link you can find right in the bio on my page on IG. I make it very simple. I don't have to put a link in the comments because people don't read the comments most of the time. and you just go to the bio. The link is going on. It'll be going on all throughout the rest of this month and all through next month. And once we hit that goal, we should be able to get that everywhere that books are sold. It is a book with representation of all kinds of shade. You got brown kids, black kids, little girl at the forefront as our main character, which I think is perfect for Women's History Month. And I was very deliberate about the situations I put the characters in. I see a lot of books, and this is no shade to a lot of the efforts, especially during the pandemic. I feel like a lot of people wrote a lot of children's books, right? I see a lot of books about hair, a lot of books about basketball. I even see some rapping books. And I'm like, can we put our brown and black characters in some positions that we need more promotion of? Some STEM, can we get some science, technology, engineering, and math out there? Can we get some, I just have a simple imagery of a boy with locks winning the speller bee. You just don't see that pushed as much as, the other arenas that you see black kids and brown kids in. So, and it's just all shades. There's even amount of girl characters and boy characters, but you'll see that our main character, and we don't give them names because we want the child to see themselves in the book. But she's very prominent.
Okay. And then you said you also co-wrote some other books, correct?
Yeah. So there's a book that came out. We just had our anniversary during the pandemic. That kind of shot some of the anniversary events we were going to do to celebrate it. So we did some virtual stuff. But it came out in paperback last year. It came out in hardcover in 2019. It's called Let Me Hear Rod, and that's in the young adult genre. And that's by my homegirl, celebrity author Tiffany Jackson. She wrote Grown, which came out last year. She wrote Monday's Not Coming, and she just co-wrote the book with Malcolm X's daughter.
Which Malcolm X's daughter? Yeah, more.
I will not butcher her name, but it's called The Awakening of Malcolm X, and she was just interviewed on the Breakfast Club talking about that. So
I have not been watching the Breakfast Club, so I can't even think of which one of his daughters. And so when you mean you co-authored the book, exactly what does that mean for those who are not part of the literary world?
I'm gonna get you, Simone, because that was a real DJ envy question. Explain to the people what co-author is.
Explain, because you said I co-authored the book, and the books is in Barnes and Nobles. We want to go out. Listen, what I would tell you so far, what I've learned about doing this show so far is that everybody that watches this show actually goes out and support each and every person that has a product that is being sold or a page that needs to be followed or followed. Every single person has actually did it. So when they ask how can we support, they're actually going to go and support it, which I find to be awesome, because you can have a bunch of followers and they just be silent, or you can have a small amount of followers that's actually a moving engine. So we got a moving engine going here, because as soon as somebody said how do you support and pin the book, it was going to be bought. And that was like the whole concept of doing this show, is that if we want to go ahead and support Black people, then we need to get the Black faces out here that'll go ahead and support, put their businesses out there, so we could at least have a conversation with the people that we want to buy and support from. So we definitely going to go ahead and get the crowdfunding so we can get the physical copies of I Grabbed the Mic. So we want to go ahead and get that. So we definitely want to do that. We definitely want to go ahead and start putting some faces to the products that we're supporting. There's so many Black products out here, or products by Black people out here. We want to support the Black businesses. So it's always good to have like a little introduction to who we actually buying from. People get it. We ain't nobody getting in your business or nothing like that. I just wanted to know, what does that mean? Like co-authored it.
I was just teasing you because that was a DJ Envy question. But in this context, in this instance, Tiffany tapped me to oversee specifically the lyric writing in this book, because this book is a tale about, it's a time piece. So it's set in 1998. It's a story about friendship. It's a murder mystery. Well, because it's set in 1998 among these teenagers, we're supposed to be embodying what 15-year-olds, how they were talking. So I was like the slang consultant, what they were talking about and what all the rap lyrics were about. Because the story is about a friend who was on his way to be like a superstar rapper who got murdered, and his friends are trying to get to the bottom of the case. and sling his unreleased music as if he's still alive. So, real interesting story.
And how old? What is the age group for that book?
When it comes to YA novels, I believe the target audience, because there's usually some like mature themes and mature language. It's usually they shoot towards a 13 to 18-year-old demographic.
I thought
It's
so because I haven't been in Barnes and Nobles in a while. I'm like, that sounds a little bit too heavy for my 11-year-old.
mhm.
Just because
Yeah,
it's a small tag.
it's a huge market. It's mostly driven by female teenagers, but this is where we get all of that um, Twilight, The Maze Runner, and even things like The Hate You Give, books
Right.
like that have been Children of Blood and Bone, like all those big books that have been huge in the last couple of years. That's all YA.
I know. That's why I said it's a little heavy for my 11-year-old. And
Yeah.
why necessarily the young adult section? Why not another genre of books?
Well, in that, I was just tapped to collaborate for that book. That's not my genre. I do nonfiction and children's specifically, and I don't know if I'll ever venture into what they call middle grade, which is right probably around your daughter's age, or YA, because that's just straight. That's a whole nother level of artistry, and I appreciate everybody that does that. But
Right.
no, I'm nonfiction and I'm children because anything I write is gonna have a life lesson attached to it. So I grab the mic is about overcoming fear, specifically overcoming stage fright and performance anxiety. So you'll see the kids in all these situations where they're imagining their worst fear if they're on stage, and then the other half of the book is them imagining everything great that could possibly come of being on that stage in the mic. And the mic is like a hidden character because the mic is present in each scenario because that's what they're afraid of, the stage and the mic. And then in my nonfiction stuff, all that's going to be, what do they call that? Self-help,
Okay.
which I think takes a little bit of ego, right? Who are you to be giving somebody self-help advice? But I do feel like everyone can learn from everyone.
Yeah, but self help is just more so of your own interpretation of what I wrote.
Exactly. So when you write your book, you know it's coming.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna. I don't know. I start and then I stop. I think, and I think this might be the best thing for me to write a fictional book loosely based on my real life.
There you
I
go.
think that'll be a little bit more interesting because I can kind of exaggerate or water certain areas down and
Mhm.
just have people just trying to figure out who, what, where, and why. And I think that that'll be a really dope book to write. Yeah, I just
I
have
think
to
so.
start writing it.
I think so. We need more voices like that from, I'll give you credit for being from Harlem, even though I just found you from Florida. But from, a Harlem woman's perspective, like we need more tales coming out that. But I will say the route you're going to take is going to be a lot. You're going to need a lot of patience because it's that much more work to make it fictionalized, right? Not give
Why you
too
say
much.
that?
Because it's easy to just spill and be like, when I was 8, I did this, but now you got
I
to
can
put it in.
lie. The me
I,
being fictional is a lie. I'm lying
right.
about
That's an extra
certain
step.
things, but it would just be loosely like maybe there might be certain things, maybe that happened, or maybe you might be able to pinpoint, but I don't know. I'm not the best person when it comes to grammar, so I definitely have Grammarly on
Mhm.
my laptop just so I could go ahead and write stuff. But like, soon as I finished writing, like I wrote my first blog on my website, and soon as I hit like Grammarly, it was like 1,000. Mind you, it was just like a page. It was 1,000 grammatical errors because I just write just to write, just so I could flush it out. And then
Right.
to kind of go back into the grammar part, I'm like, yo, it's a red line right here, red line here, repeat sentence here. So I don't know. It's probably gonna take me a while to write the book, but I don't know. I never saw myself as a writer or any of that, honestly. But
I'm
we'll
sure
see.
you got stories to tell. So if you ever need a ghostwriter, holler. Uh,
I definitely will. I'll definitely reach out. I think I could write like a cool book. I don't know. I balance it between the fictional book and like a real like self help. Like you said, self help is a little different. Like you have to interpret it the best way you can. Like I have a thousand of thousands of self help books actually. Like that's my genre. I like self help books and I like stories based on real life. I don't really
Right.
read too many fictional stories. I haven't
Let
read
me
fictional stories since high school.
let me tell you how small the world is. I think
How small?
you had Mickey Fax on the show, right?
Yes.
Before. Yeah, shout out to Mickey. Mickey did a song with my boy Divine like years ago, and I think Mickey was on your show talking about how he had like all these party songs and the label didn't want him to use that. And they
Right.
made like this real party song and they killed it. And that, my boy Divine is who I'm writing this nonfiction book with. It's called Financial Slavery Was a Choice. And it's gonna be a mix. It's a mix of memoirs, like these autobiographical stories, like little pockets of stories from our broke days, and
Mm.
then life advice based off of that. So neither of us is purporting to be an expert. There's nothing worse than people feel someone saying they're an expert and they look like they only one step further than them.
Right.
So it's really just everyman advice. But the world is also small because I think what high school did you go to?
I went to Frederick Douglass Academy.
Exactly. So I think two of my exes went to the same school as you. So I was like, damn, every Harlem woman went to FDA. But
It was in
I'll say
walking
this,
distance.
there's two different FDAs. So,
I went to one. I went to FDA one, not two.
right. So
Wow. I want to know who they are.
they both of their names start with K. Shout out to both of them. So
Really? I think I know. I think I know which one you talk about too. Because if I'm doing the math correct in my mind, since you don't want to tell me how we don't tell the audience how old you are, and if I can think about how old they are, then
oh,
I
oh,
kind of
I
know
got
how
you.
old. Then I know who you're talking about because there wasn't too many attractive women named that start with a K that was that much older than me. Because we had a very small school, and if I can remember, I think we only had maybe about 600 kids in total in the school,
Hmm.
which means it was 100 people per class.
Really trying to do the math here on live.
It was
Yeah, y'all was
100
funny.
people per class. So I'm almost sure I have both K's.
Shout out to my exes. Shout out to
I think
Harlem.
I know, like I can
Shout
count
out
on
to
my hand how
shout out
many
to all the
cute
Harlem
girls that
high
need to start with a K
Shout
that
out
were
to all
older
the
than
Harlem
me.
high schools, Rice, Wadley, A. Philip
Rice,
Randolph.
R.I.P. Rice. Rice does not exist anymore. R.I.P. Rice. Definitely Rice High School. So where else can we find you, and what else is coming up with you next?
Got you. I just want to shout out the illustrator of this amazing book that we put together, Paige Mason. I could not have done it without her. I scoped her out. I scouted her out because I was a fan of hers on IG first. She's right here in the Bay, and she's from California. And I was just like, why are you not booked to the T right now? Like, so it was important because I could have went the industry route. And there's a reason why we're doing this Indiegogo campaign because I chose not to go the traditional route where you pitch your story to a publisher and they take your work and put it with any artist. I wanted to work with her, Black female representation. She does great work. You can follow her at PM Illustrations, and she really brought the characters to life. Also, shout out to Jessica Monet, always lurking. Shout out Harlem. But y'all can find me working now, besides promoting this campaign. Again, click the link in the bio for that if you want to support it. I just launched my YouTube channel, and it's called F a Rap Critic because I want to take full advantage of being a hip hop historian. I explained earlier, Plates and Crates was all about digging in the crates and respecting these classic albums. So it's a new review show where what I did, I actually created a review system. So almost like a Rotten Tomatoes for hip hop,
Right.
where the crowd gets to vote and rank albums, and we're not just living off the past. We're like, well, they got 5 mics. We're like, no, let's dust these albums off, look at it through this system. Did it really stand the test of time? And every month we're doing a couple albums, reviewing it, and whoever whoever's single average is close to the general average, they get a prize. They get like a gift certificate to one of our food sponsors because it's Place and Crates. I got a family restaurant. If anybody's in the tri-state area, Father and Son Seafood. It's in Inglewood, New Jersey. It's like the best
Yeah, pump
cheesesteaks.
everything, Willie. Go ahead, put everything out
I'm promoting, man. It's we got the best Philly cheesesteaks. This is the original steak and take. My father is the one who brought steak and take all throughout Harlem. If you ever seen a steak and take restaurant, That's my dad. So that's our family restaurant. It's in Jersey. Fish, seafood, cheesesteaks. Holla at me if you don't like it. And if you love it, holla at me too. But yeah, the show is called F a Rap Critic on YouTube, and we just started. The first episode is a Rakim album because actually the title "I Grabbed the Mic" is inspired by a line in a Rakim song, which is the song that made me want to rap, "Microphone Fiend." So everything's connected.
So
Everything's
I know you're doing the crowdfunding, but I don't know if you ever caught the show that I did with with the author Tom Barriola. He has his own all black owned publishing company, and I know you said you didn't want to go through a publishing company, but maybe after this book comes out, you might want to like hit him up and revisit and see what else can happen moving forward.
for sure. No, hook us up now.
Because
Give us.
yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll send you his information. He came on here. He has about I think 3 books that he wrote.
Mhm.
And he has his own publishing company,
Dope. I love that.
all black owned publishing company. So I'll send you his information. He has an email address. He's very interactive as far as like if you hit him up, he'll respond. He responds to all his followers on Instagram. He came on, he did the show, and he's dope.
Right.
So I'll send his page over to you.
I love
When
that.
we wrap. But yeah, thank you for coming on tonight. I love when people hit me up and say, hey, I got something. Can I come on? Can I do it? That makes my job a lot easier because I spend most of my days sliding in people's DMs talking about, hey, what you doing on Thursday at 8:00? Would you like to come on my live show? So you made this week stress-free and it was really good catching up with you. I'm happy to see all the things that you're doing. Making moves out there on the West Coast. Yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, I said I wasn't gonna get off the live without flossing the shirt.
What shirt?
But it says that Harlem kid gotta represent.
Oh
Yeah.
God, you in this dark ass room.
Shout out. Shout out to Wolf Style. I know the store doesn't exist no more, but those my peoples. Once a wolf, always a wolf. Shout out to Harlem Honey. She has a dope show called Music and Me that she does on her IG page, Harlem Honey 77. And I know you're trying to close out, but I'm trying to get on my shout
Go
out.
ahead, get everything off like this is an award. Go ahead, get everything out.
And I forgot to mention the whole YouTube channel, F a Rap Critic, is also attached to the book, F a Rap Critic, where I'm explaining the system. So that book will be coming soon. So just hella books. After I Grab the Mic does what it does, I have another children's book coming after, but the focus now is on I Grab the Mic, just so we can see how far we get it. Again, if you have a child in your life that is 4 to 8, or just loves reading, even if they like reading a little older or a little younger, this is a great book to read to them or give them to read. It's about performance anxiety. It's about anxiety in general, overcoming fear, black and brown faces everywhere. And for really all kids, it's not one of those books where everyone is just, jet black, but you get this dark skin representation that we need more of, doing things that are not stereotypical. And I'm very proud of it. And I'm very, very happy that you let me be on your show. And you show that
I'm
Harlem
going
love.
to gift you a ring light. So make sure you send me your address when we finish, because if you're going to go on this virtual tour promoting this book, we're going to need you to have better lighting, friends. So I'm going to get you a small ring light. So send me your address so that I can gift you a small ring light so that you can at least have it around your phone. So no matter where you at, you could be performance ready, because you have a lot of promotion to do so that we can get this book in the physical. And you can't have dark lighting because we need to be able to see you, Malik. That is key. We need to be able to see you. You cannot talk about a book about performance anxiety and we cannot see you.
Yo, she got all the jokes.
See you.
All the jokes. You're right.
I'm serious. I'm going to
gift it to you.
So when you go on, you're gonna, every time you put that ring light on your phone, you're going to laugh because you're like, I know where I got this from, because you came and you went from one dark room to another dark room back to the first dark room.
I'm gonna hold you to that because we got witnesses. I will not look a gift horse in
I
the
am
mouth.
going to
Bring it.
get you a ring light for your phone so that when you are doing these lives, that you can have the right light. And that is why I have lights in this apartment, because this house is dark, and I want people to be able to see.
You're right. I was at work. It's probably also because I use my
No
Droid phone instead of
excuse.
my iPhone.
No excuse.
You're right. Yes, ma'am.
No excuses. So when we wrap, you send me your address so I can gift you this ring light. We're gonna get you a little mini production kit. So
Yes, ma'am.
anytime you feeling the urge to jump on your live, you are prepared so we can see you.
Yes, ma'am.
So we got to get this book out. We got to get the book out. I thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you to know and keep doing your thing. I hit you up because I'm very proud of you. I've been watching your moves. I love what you and your man did for the Valentine's Day specials. How y'all were doing the interviews together. Just keep doing what you do. I know you're gonna be on TV soon enough. You're gonna be in Essence Magazine.
That is one of my dreams.
People, okay?
That is one of my dreams, to be in Essence. Go ahead and put that out there. So God, from your mouth to God's ears. Come on, like everybody push it that way. Push it that way.
Don't be a stranger. And yes, everybody go out. I grab the mic. The link is in the bio. Follow me. Follow Plates and Crates. By the way,
follow Malik. Please follow Malik, especially. And when you get your gift from me, please unpack it and tag me in it. Okay?
I shall. I will do a whole unboxing video and shout you out all over. I promise you, my YouTube show, I don't do it from work. I have better lighting. I have a ring light, but that phone ring light, I'm not going to pass up.
Exactly. So we're going to get you a little mobile one so that you could go ahead and take it everywhere you go. Okay?
There you go.
Can I send? Everybody follow his page. We're definitely going to help and donate so that we can get this book in the physical. Okay? Thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. See you guys next Thursday. Send me that address, Malik.
I will. I'll hit you after this. Peace, everybody. Harlem.